Ah yes, a video for my Hemiway friends, all you folks out there that have the Hemiway Cruiser. I was out putting in some miles on this bike today, just cruising along on the Cruiser, and I got to thinking to myself as I enjoyed the nice ride through Cary, North Carolina, where I live. But this bike is just, I think, meant for cruising. I think most of these bikes are meant for doing exactly what I'm out here doing today. It's a nice fall day. Well, it's December. Does that mean it's winter? I don't know. But anyway, I'm out cruising today. It's somewhat warm. And these bikes, I really feel like that's what they're for. They're not really meant to get you a workout, I don't think. I recently tried to off-road my Rad Rover through some serious mountain bike trails, and it was, I mean, it did it, but it's not, you know, it wasn't the bike that I would have preferred to have on that particular trail, that's for sure. It's pretty hard to sling around the turns and over logs and stuff. So I don't think it's built for that. I'm sure many of you use it for that, but I do not. But these bikes, I think they are just made to cruise around town, to get some, you know, moderate exercise, maybe explore your town or city, ride with your friends or ride with your kids, whatever it is. But, you know, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking to myself, okay, so really there's a whole sea of these bikes out there now. There is a million. Actually, if you go to my website, I keep a running list, radwithcitizen.com. Click on e-bike research, and I keep a running list of all the e-bike companies I've heard of that make bikes. So you can easily click through and see the different brands out there. I don't endorse any of them. I'm not sponsored by any of them. I don't get anything from it. I just keep a list so it's easy for people to click through. They're all hyperlinked. But anyway, there's a sea of these bikes out there, and I'm thinking, okay, so they're just cruiser bikes that people ride around town on. And I did two things. I took a look at my YouTube analytics, because I thought to myself, why do they make these things so huge? If you've never seen one in person, this is a big bike. Those from ground to top of tire is 29 inches. They call it a 26-inch fat tire, but you know, ground to tire, top of tire is 29 inches. They weigh 70 pounds plus. These are heavy duty frames. These are massive bikes, right? And I took a look at my analytics on YouTube, because it'll tell you, it tells me where my audience is and who they are and if they're man or woman, age. So, and it was a pretty crazy statistic that I think roughly 70% of the people that watch my channel are actually over the age of 45. So I think that tells you who's buying these bikes. It's 45 plus, the people that just want to do exactly what I'm doing today and go out and cruise, right? That led me to that question. Why do they make them so big? Let's go ride this thing actually. Why do they make these bikes so large? If you are trying to sell it to people who are 45 plus, when I think of someone 45 plus, I'm not quite there yet, but I think of somebody that maybe isn't in the same shape they used to be. Maybe they're not as limber as they used to be. Maybe they're not as strong as they used to be. You know, do they need a 75-pound gigantic mountain bike to cruise around town on? They would probably be better off with something a little bit smaller. Now, I know there are smaller ones out there, of course, but I would venture a guess that the vast majority of electric bikes are this size, roughly. So I don't know why they make so many of them that are this big. I really think they should start making smaller ones, maybe some 24-inch tire ones. My Bike Tricks bike, actually, that I have, the Bike Tricks Stunner X, which I've got the street tires on it. You can get off-road tires on it, but that bike has 24-inch wheels, and it makes it a lot more manageable to get off and on. My wife actually can get on and off that bike way easier. She struggles with this bike. She's only 5'3". This bike is huge for her. So I tell people all the time, you know, if you're height challenged or balance challenged, start looking at the 20-inch fat tires instead of these ones. These bikes are huge. I don't have an issue because I'm still pretty able-bodied, and I'm also 6'1". That brings up the next thing I was going to mention is I Googled how tall is the average man in America, and it said 5'9". Now my father's roughly in that range, 5'9", 5'10", and he can get off and on my Rad and my Hemiway, but he does so very carefully because, again, he's not as limber as he used to be and has bad knees. So I don't know. I don't get it. Why are all these bikes so big when you're trying to sell it to an aging market that it's probably a little bit too big for them. Another fun fact, when my dad, I let him ride my Rover, and the first time he rode it, I think he fell in love with it, right? He knew at that point he was gonna get one. But when he went to get an e-bike, he didn't buy one of these. He bought electric XP, a 20-inch fat tire. And actually, so did my mom. They both ride the electric XPs. So there you go, prime example. My father, who's in that demographic of all the people that are probably watching me right now. He's what, 60 something, 7, 8, somewhere in there. You know, and after seeing him in person, he rode my full-size Rover and he rode my wife's rad Mini, and the Mini was just easier for him to handle, and that's what he was looking for. Something that's just comfortable and fun to ride. So anyway, that's what I was thinking about today, but let's take a quick look at this bike again. I don't know if I have this one posted on the website or not right now with all the, you know, I keep a running list of accessories on there too of my other bike. This one, I haven't done much to this bike. I put on the suspension seat post, which I don't remember the Amazon seller name. It says Zoom on it. I'll put the link in the description, and it's an affiliate link too. All my Amazon links are affiliate ones, so just know that. It'll take you to Amazon. But anyway, the suspension seat post and the phone holder and the mirrors are pretty much the only things I've added to this bike. I kind of like keeping it cleaner look. My other rad is just so loaded down with so much junk with bags and racks and gadgets and gizmos. This one's not. This one's more, it's so much lighter too, like this. And the mirrors, just keep in mind, somebody mentioned, I can't remember the commenter's name, but when they bought these mirrors, it had the post that goes inside the handlebars was like aluminum instead of rubber like I had. So they didn't really fit for them. So I guess buyer beware on that. Check, make sure if you're gonna get these mirrors, it has the rubber piece that post that goes in here, not the aluminum one. I hate those aluminum ones. They don't work as well. I've had them on my motorcycles. They just don't work. I don't know why they redesign them like that. But I'm gonna jump back on this bike and cruise home really quick, and then maybe give you a fleet update on all the motorcycles and bikes and everything in the fleet, because I recently sold a motorcycle and I'm thinking about selling one of the e-bikes and then pooling that money into buying a awesome e-bike, which is still to be determined. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. I've got some ideas, but I don't know for sure. I really want to get something, you know, fat tire, of course, that's my thing. That's what I like, the fat tires. Somebody do this for me. Somebody find me the fattest fat tire bike you can buy. What is it? I've seen a couple, I think, that had like 4.8-inch tires. I've yet to find one that has 5. But somebody find me that. What is the fattest fat tire? I want to get that bike. All right, well, we've made it back home and I'm standing among the fleet. So let's just go through them really quick so you can see what I've got. And if you have questions on any of these bikes, you can ask them in the comments or email me, and I will try my best to get to them and answer them if I can. All right, well, I just thought I'd provide you a quick update with all the toys that are in the garage currently. This is my CitizenCycle bike right here, my CitizenCycle branded with all my logos and websites and everything. And as you can see, this bike is truly decked out with all kinds of goodies. I do keep a running list on my website if you want to get any of it and make yours similar. This was once a 2018 Rad Rover, heavily modified, very fast. It's about 34 mile an hour fast, throttle only. Lots of goodies on this bike, super fun. This is the Hemiway Cruiser I've got, courtesy of Hemiway bike. Very fun bike. I really like this bike, actually. It's very tight still. There's not a lot of shakes and rattles in the thing. This thing, I mean, maybe it's just because all the junk on it, but it shakes and rattles and all kinds of noise when you're riding this thing. This thing's dead silent. The wheels are very silent as well. Those tires, they are Kendas. I don't know what, it doesn't say on them what brand of Kenda, but they are quiet, even though they're pretty knobby. But great bike. I haven't done much to it, just added the suspension seat post and the phone holder and the mirrors, and that's about it. But strong performing bike for sure. This thing dominated the Rad bike when I compared them side by side performance wise out of the box for what is this, $13.99, I think. This was much stronger, similar components. Those two companies are, I think, going head to head, definitely. And I have both. I have Hemiways and I have Rads. If you said you need to go buy one right now, I would buy a Hemiway just because I want the power out of it. Yeah, that's the main reason. It's got some kick, that's for sure. We've got the Stunner X. This is the 2020 Hemiway Cruiser step through. This is a step through model, although it's not very short for a step through. This is the Bike Tricks Stunner X I was talking about earlier with the 24-inch tires, which makes it a little easier to get on. Actually, my wife can get on this one and ride it with relatively no trouble. Great bike, super powerful bike. That mid-drive motor, the 750 Bafang mid-drive, I mean, wow, torque monster on this thing, man. 120 newton meters of torque. It is powerful for, you know, off the line and hill climbs. Just crazy amount of power out of that motor. And it's the Stunner X. I do like the swept-back handlebars actually too. It looks very cruiser-ish, but it is super comfortable. Rack included. 2020 Stunner X. I'm liking that bike more and more every day. This one, I don't know what it is about this bike. Maybe because the motor is centered and it's very balanced. It feels very light. I think it is slightly lighter than the Hemiways and the full-size Rover, but it feels way lighter when you ride it. I would ride this bike without the battery. It feels like you can ride it down the street, and I have actually, with no electric assistance. It feels like a regular bike. It's very easy to throw around, actually. This is Wifey's bike. I can't touch this bike, so I'm not going to do anything to this. I know you guys wanted me to add, you know, the Bolton controllers and all this stuff. I'm not allowed to touch it. She won't let me touch it. She doesn't want any more power in the bike. It's fine for her. She likes it as is, so this one is hands off. I am not allowed to mess with it or alter it or put anything on it. The only thing we really added for her was the mirrors and the bottle holder, which we're probably going to take off because it's kind of in the way. We just need to get one that goes up here on the stem. That's the 2020 Rad Mini step through. It does have fat tires, but they're not as fat. They're like 3 point something instead of 4-inch fat tires, but still it has a fat tire look to it. And finally in the lineup, coming in dead last, and I say that jokingly, but this is, I bought this bike just solely for the purpose of comparing other bikes to it. I just wanted a stock full-size Rover that I could, you know, compare Hemiway and some of the other ones too. That's why I've got this bike. It does not have any miles on it. I might actually be selling it just to generate funds to get something I'm more interested in, honestly. This bike it's fine. It does what it's supposed to do. Typical Rad power, you know, it's non-threatening bike. It gets you around. It's fun. It's fine bike. It just doesn't excite me. This bike does not excite me, so I will probably end up getting it out of my garage trailer, you know, just to create some room for something I am a little bit more interested in. I don't know what I'm going to price it at yet. We'll see. But that is the lineup. Again, if you have interest in these bikes, check my videos. I've done videos on all of them. And I've done several comparison videos comparing them to each other. I'll try to answer questions if you've got them on these bikes. I'll do my best. That is everything in the electric fleet. I still have some gas-powered gadgets in the other garage. I'm in the process of building out man caves and garages, and it is a mess at the Citizen house right now. There is stuff everywhere. I live in a really small house and we are out of room, so I bought another shed to put stuff in, and I'm redoing my other shed into a man cave, which I'm kind of excited to show you that. It's going to be like a man cave e-bike studio storage, cool place for me. I need my own zone. So when I finish that, I'm not going to do any progress updates, maybe on Instagram. I don't know, maybe. I do a lot of stuff on Instagram that's not on YouTube, but I will show you when I'm done. I'm planning on that being more e-bike storage. I'm going to get some storage racks for the bikes and show you how those work. And yeah, I don't know. just doing videos as I come up with them. If you got suggestions, definitely leave me some of those. But thank you so much for watching my channel. I truly appreciate that. And like I said, if you got questions on any of these, shoot me a comment. I will try to answer. And thanks for watching.